We're going to be going over how you do the Tunisian Crochet Honeycomb stitch. So the honeycomb stitch is made up of 2 different stitches and we alternate them back and forth. It's called honeycomb because it looks like honeycomb shapes, and we alternate between the Tunisian simple stitch and the Tunisian purl stitch. So to start, you just need to chain an even number of stitches. So I have 12 chains. And then we're going to turn the chain around and work in the back bumps of our chain just for our foundation Tunisian crochet row, which is just going into the back bumps, yarning over and pulling up a loop and leaving it on your hook all the way down. And the amount of loops on your hook should equal the amount of chains that you chained. And this is just our first setup row. This is what you have to do for all Tunisian crochet stitches. Okay, then once you have your last stitch picked up, then we're gonna do a return pass. So a return pass looks like we're gonna yarn over and pull through 1. Then you're gonna yarn over and pull through 2 across until you only have 1 loop remaining on your hook. And here's our foundation row. Like I mentioned, the stitch for the honeycomb alternates between a purl stitch and a simple stitch. Honestly, it doesn't really matter which one you start out with because either way it's going to make this design here. But for this tutorial, I'm gonna start with the purl stitch. And if you wanna go over the purl stitch more, I'm gonna somewhat do it fairly quickly, but you can watch this video here for more in-depth tutorial. So we're gonna be going into the next Tunisian crochet stitch. So you're gonna put the yarn in front of your hook, insert into the Tunisian stitch, bring the yarn back behind the hook, and then yarn over and pull up a loop. And that is a purl stitch. And you can tell the purl because it has this little knot here. And then the next one, we're doing a simple stitch. So you're just gonna insert into the next stitch and pull up a loop. And just like the purl stitch, you can watch this video here for more in-depth tutorial. But yeah, that is literally all you're doing. So you're going to do a purl stitch. So yarn in front, insert, bring the yarn behind, pull up a loop. Then you'll do a simple stitch where you're just gonna go in the stitch and pull up a loop. And you're gonna do that all the way down, alternating back and forth between the purl and the simple stitch. Then when we get to the last Tunisian stitch, so the edge stitch, you're just gonna go into it as normal. So you should have 2 vertical bars at the end there, pull up a loop. You should have the same amount of loops on your hook for the amount of stitches you have. And then we're just gonna return pass as normal. So yarn over, pull through 1, and then yarn over, pull through 2 all the way down. For the next row, the honeycomb stitch is alternating those 2 stitches, but also alternating them on each row. So you always want to look at the first stitch, and if there's a little knot here, that means that that is a purl stitch, and we want to put a simple stitch there. And then you can see this doesn't have the knot, this does, so where it doesn't have the knot is a simple stitch, and we want to put a purl stitch there. So we're alternating which stitch we start out with each row. So we can see there's a knot here. That means we don't want to put a purl, we want a simple stitch. So you're just gonna put a simple stitch. Then we see no knot here, so that's a simple stitch, so we need to do a purl stitch. And then you just keep alternating. So simple stitch, purl stitch, simple stitch, purl stitch, all the way down. And then the last Tunisian stitch, pull up a loop. There we go. Now you can see our little honeycomb starting to be formed here. And now we're just gonna return pass as normal. Here is our second row here. And now you just keep repeating. So we look at our first stitch here. We can see this doesn't have a knot, but this one does. So that means we are starting with our purl, and then we're doing our simple stitch, and we just keep alternating back and forth every single row to slowly form our little honeycombs. And this is how you get this beautiful Tunisian crochet honeycomb stitch. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and be sure to check out my other Tunisian crochet stitch videos. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!
I wish I could leave my skin behind in this old rented room, float my way across the great divide and be buried